This is Roger with Wheel Kinetics in Tucson. We're selling this Tahoe. It is a 2007 Chevy Tahoe LT, two-wheel drive, 5.3 liter. It's a theft recovery purchased directly from an insurance company. Let's see, 55,000, almost 56,000 miles. It has a third seat, has front air, obviously, and rear air. Leather, which is the LT package. We have noticed that when we got it, it's got a beautiful set of 22s with very high rubber tires. It has been painted. We're not sure what the deal is or why. It came from El Paso, so I'm not really sure why they painted it. It looks to me like there's been some body work of some sort on the hood and on this fender. That said, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, I'm not sure if the whole thing's been painted or what. I don't know. It looks good. I mean, my job is to tell you what's going on as far as I know. The front bumper cover has definitely been taken off and half-assed repaired. You know, I mean, I don't know. This could easily be a clear title Tahoe and be fine. I'm trying to tell you what we know. They did spend some money on wheels and tires and on HID. They have xenon headlights. It also has HID lights on the interior also. See, it's still got the nipples on the tires, so I mean, these tires are relatively new. People usually don't spend that kind of money on tires if they don't like the vehicle. See, they tried to repair this. We looked underneath, we looked under the hood at the core support, and all that looks fine. I mean, so I'm not really sure if they just scraped it up real bad. It's got a little scrape on this bumper here too. I mean, if I owned this thing, I'd probably just remove the bumper cover, fix it properly, shoot it, and put it back on. What's interesting is they have center caps on this side that have Cadillac center caps. Trying to, it's like there's a little bit of scratch in here that somebody touched up. Anyway, what I'm saying here basically is it runs and drives great, but there's unknown issues as far as paint, and I think it probably, when they stole it, they probably took it in the desert or something and ran through some bushes or whatever, because there's still some remnants here of scratches, and the painter was pretty good. He just didn't do the best finishing work. There's some chip here and chip here. He didn't buff everything out all the way. It's just, I don't know. For what you're going to pay for the vehicle, it's not going to matter to you, and if it does, you should go probably buy a brand new one. Ding here. But, you know, my job is to not misrepresent these vehicles. I have no idea what happened to it. It was sold to us as a theft recovery. Insurance companies never lie about that stuff. They have too much liability involved. So that's what happened. Whatever happened to make them want to paint this thing is beyond me. But it's clearly a lot better job than a Mako paint job, but a long way from factory. So that's what you got. I see little dings in this. Like this gas door looks all dinged up, like someone left it open and bounced into stuff. I don't know. You know, like a chrome gas door would be a good idea. Center cap. You got Chevy on this side and Cadillac on the other side. Door ding, little scratches here. I mean, this thing, I wouldn't do anything to it. I'd just drive it until it, you know, I'd just take this low-mile Tahoe and drive it forever and not do anything. I see a little bit of rust right here. This thing came from El Paso, so you know, maybe it went down into Mexico, down to Mexico City. Who knows what happened to this thing? But I see that right there. I don't see anything else, and this isn't a rain channel, so it probably just sat in a yard, impound yard, forever, which is generally what happens. They sit in an impound yard for sometimes years. I've had vehicles with 3,000 miles that are 5 years old. You know, they're part of a court case and they just stay there forever. Anyway, if you can see the inside of the fenders, everything looks fine. There's your ballast for your xenon lights. You can tell it's running. It runs great. I mean, it's, you know, I just think that they scratched the hell out of it somehow and did this. Obviously, you got a really nice air box. This is real pricey here. See, inside the fender. If this thing was really hit, this inner fender would be all crushed. So I'm not really sure what's going on here. But I do know that it runs and drives great, and it looks good. You know, I mean, it's not looking like a brand new Tahoe, but see a little bit of stain right here on the carpet in the rear. Here's your third seats. See the HID lights? Instead of being the light color, they're high intensity. Kind of a pricey little upgrade. It's always a good sign when people spend money on the vehicle. It generally indicates that they like the way it runs and drives. A little bit of a spot here on this leather seat. A couple more right here. Let's see, and you got your controls here. Turn it down. Yeah, it's working back here. Blowing ice cold. Back here you have a temperature, let's see, up. And that's all working. It's nice back here. Cup holder. Couple little stains here. And like I said, this isn't a beauty queen by any means, but it's certainly not embarrassing. It's got some eyeball. Here's your VIN. The door. Driver's seat looks really good. Make sure it works. There's the power up, power back. That works fine. Here's your carpet. All right, let's see. Let's get in here. We bought a dash mat for it. It had a couple cracks. Let me take it off real quick so you can look at this. Had a crack here and had a big crack here, which tells me that they were probably trying to steal the cluster because it has really low miles. They probably got busted when they were doing that, and that's probably what happened here. Having done this a million times, the stuff they steal is interesting. And when you see evidence like that, they were probably trying to steal the cluster. Anyway, let's see. Put my seatbelt on. Alright, let's see. 55,705 miles. Let's see if you can see these gauges over here. Here's your charging and your water temperature gauge right there. And it's about 900 degrees right now. See the radio.
Completely?
That works. We've got a CD player here. Let's see, what else we got? We got air. Oh my god. It's nice and ice cold. Beautiful. The air works. I mean, God. Yeah, it works really well. Let's see, what else we got? We got tow on and off. Let's Let's see what else we got. Let's see if we turn the radio back on and see if these controls work. Oh, that's for the change the station. Yeah, that works. Here's the volume. Okay, that works. Okay, so the steering wheel controls work, and then we have cruise control. I think you have to be running to get this to display, but there's cruise control, and there's tilt. That works. All right, let's see. All right, let me turn the radio down and go for a ride. This is being sold on a salvage title. Therefore, if you come to Tucson to take it home, a couple things are going to happen. Number one, we have to take it to motor vehicles to get it inspected by the police. That's called a level 3 inspection. Once it passes that, which it does, because theft recoveries are theft recoveries, there's nothing to inspect other than looking at it and rubber stamping it. Let's see. We take the level 3 inspection and the salvage title to motor vehicles here in Arizona and get what's called a restored salvage title. The restored salvage title, then we can notarize and sign off to you, and we can get temporary drive-away plates. It can be registered and insured, the whole bit. On a salvage title, it can't. So that's mandatory. We do that for $200. $50 goes to motor vehicles. 150 is ours. Sometimes we go at 6 in the morning. Sometimes we're out of there immediately. Sometimes they want to eat a million donuts, and we're there for the whole day. It's the best $200 you ever spent. But if you want to save the money, please make sure that you can take this vehicle with the salvage title, Arizona salvage title, and a bill of sale, and get your own title in your state, whether it's rebuilt or restored or whatever they call it in your state, because that's all we can give you is a salvage title and a bill of sale and the vehicle itself. Okay? Once it's, in your state, it's real hard to get back because it's got to be shipped back. You can't drive it back to get inspected in Arizona. So just make sure that you're okay there. So that's $200 to drive it away. You also pay a $250 dock fee, and you pay taxes, which are 2% for city sales tax, plus whatever your state tax rate. In Oregon, it's 0. So if you flew here, you'd only pay our city tax of 2%, the $250 dock fee, and the $200 to restore the title. If your state tax rate is 7, then you're going to pay 9% tax, $200 to restore the title, and a $250 dock fee. If you pay by wire and ship, all you're going to pay is the agreed upon price plus the $200 if you want us to restore the title for you. I still strongly suggest that, but it's not required because obviously it's shipping out. You don't need plates or to drive it because it's being shipped. Just make sure you check with your state, or you already know the rules or whatever. It's just a huge hassle if you get it there and you can't get it done. And that's it. Also, make sure you get a deposit. If we have an agreed upon price, whether it's through our site or wherever you see this truck, it's a $500 deposit. We will stop selling it to other people. If we just have agreed upon price and no deposit, it's still for sale. And if somebody shows up with money, they get the truck. In this case, the Tahoe. Because we have to have the money. We have too many people making promises and not following through. So that is all. Let me give it some gas here. You can see it actually now that I'm out of traffic. I can. Let's make sure there's no cops up here first. I'm really trying not to get a ticket today. Let me slow down here, and I'll punch it. Okay. For having 22s, this thing has a really smooth ride. Very straight. There's no pull. There's no vibration. There's nothing. Like I said, its issues are the paint, and really, they're not that bad considering what you're going to pay for this thing. I mean, if this thing were on a clear title, God, you'd be close to 20. You're not going to be anywhere near close to 20 with this thing. So please check it out. It's a good family car. It runs like champion. That's all. Thank you very much.